Hey there guys, Joseph Communications, and welcome to a vlog slash unboxing slash DVD and Blu-ray update. So it's all in one, it's an all-in-one video. Um, I've been waiting to do this for a while. There's going to be another unboxing video of some more packages I shipped from Michigan in a week and a half from now or something like that. But I got about 4 boxes of stuff that I got back from Michigan I want to show you guys. Show you guys some more stuff that I got the last day I had in Michigan. And I'm going to talk about a little bit sort of what went on and what I did. And I'll think I'll start out with that. So a little bit of a vlog, so to speak. Let you know guys know about what I did while I was in Michigan. Well, as you know, it was supposed to be 2 weeks. It turned into a month and a half. Honestly, I would have preferred to have been home, a couple weeks earlier. But things didn't work out that way. It was a little bit too expensive to get a ticket back over here. So I ended up staying a little bit longer than I would have liked, but it is what it is. Mainly, it wasn't a very like when I say vacation, I'm putting it sort of like vacation. It was good. It was good to get away, but I felt it was like once I got everything done that I needed to get done, it just felt like I was just kind of just doing going through the motions, so to speak. But it was worth it because I got to really hang out with my dad for a little bit, and he only had pretty much the weekends to hang out with me because he's a truck driver. So I like a little bit of the weekends so we can hang out a little bit. But I had fun watching movies with him, and we actually saw not Ghost Protocol. I don't know why I keep fucking up with that. I keep Rogue Nation. Fuck me, man. I keep fucking mixing those two up for some fucking reason. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, we saw that together, and it was a really cool little theater that was about in a town called Fremont in Michigan. It was about 10-15 minutes away from where my dad lived in Hesperia, Michigan, and it had only one theater, but it was decently sized. It was a regular theater, size theater. It wasn't HD or anything, but it was still really nice. And the main reason why is it was not very expensive. We saw it on a Monday, so the ticket cost $6, but we upgraded to VIP seats, which cost $8 total. And the VIP seats are comfy as they're really comfy. They're great. I wish I had a small little theater like this over here, because all I got is Regal, and they don't really have VIP seats. So what they were is they're reclining leather chairs, and like the really good leather chairs. It was really nice to watch Rogue Nation in those reclining leather chairs. I mean, heck, I could watch the worst movie ever, and it could be in the reclining leather chair, and I'd be like, yeah, that movie sucked, but at least I was comfortable. But anyway, I really enjoyed Rogue Nation, though, and you'll hear more of my thoughts on that a little bit later, because I want to revisit the other Mission Impossible films before I review it. But anyway, I definitely did enjoy it, and I honestly do feel it's definitely right up there with one of my favorite films of the year. It's definitely in the top 5. So, anyway, so we saw that, and we watched a few movies together, for my DVD collection. I watched some movies on my own, and being over there really helped me rekindle my love for film. And honestly, I got a lot of good deals on stuff, DVDs and so forth, that really ended up satiating my hunger or whatever because for more stuff, because I got too much stuff enough as it is. I need to start watching it. So I'm just going to start enjoying and appreciating what I do have. And that was a big thing. I mean, I definitely missed using this webcam. I definitely appreciate having an HD webcam. Definitely appreciate having this really nice computer, which is really fast. And all thanks to my cousin Garrett who built it for me. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate my time with you guys. I appreciate being able to make videos and post them whenever I want to. I appreciate my friend Matt, being able to talk to him on Skype and whenever and however long I want to, because I couldn't really do that in Michigan at my dad's place because they had internet the internet through their phone pretty much, so it was limited to a certain amount of gigabytes. So they only had about 22 gigabytes to use for the month. So yeah, it was really definitely did put things in perspective. I really do like having internet over here in home that does not have any blocks on it that I can, use and do whatever and download whatever, do whatever the hell I want with it, which is really, uh, I realize it's a luxury, but it's a good luxury to have that I definitely do appreciate. And I appreciate you guys for sticking with me, even though I was gone a lot longer than I originally had planned and originally what I told you guys. But thanks for watching some of those 240p videos. I still got some more that I'm going to post a little bit later. But yeah, I thought they were pretty good. I thought they were pretty decent for what I had to work with. And I will be doing some more reviews later down the road of some of the films that I did see from over in Michigan. Um, I'm just waiting till the DVDs get shipped back. So yeah, it might be a little bit, but I did see things like flicks like Dead Alive, Peter Jackson's Dead Alive, which is a gory, bloody, awesome movie. Intruder, which was one of the definitely I would say one of the better slashers from the late '80s, but it had some issues. But ultimately, I did like it, and I did see a few others. I saw The Call with Halle Berry, which I thought was a decent one. It was a time waster, watchable flick. She was good, but there were some other issues I had with the film. Um, and I saw White House Down for the first time, and I really honestly really enjoyed it. So that was a surprise. And I watched The Flock with Richard Gere with my dad. That was a really intense movie, but a really good one. Really well acted film. Good performances by Richard Gere and Claire Danes. And I saw American Sniper. Already did the review of that. Um, and there's a few other films like I saw Extreme Measures with Gene Hackman and Hugh Grant. And I actually did bring that one back with me, so I will review that sometime pretty soon. Really enjoyed it. It was a really underrated thriller. And then I also really liked Deaths of Ian Stone, which I brought that back with me as well. So I'll definitely do a review of that pretty soon as well. And there's a few others and stuff that I saw, like I watched Pride and Glory, a film I've been looking forward to seeing with Colin Farrell and Edward Norton. It was a great police drama. It was definitely worth it for me. It was a really, really good flick. It was 50 cents. It was an insanely good deal. So it was a really good deal for the DVD, and it was a great movie. I thought it was a really, really good flick. Um, I saw I watched Summer Rental again with John Candy, which is still a fun movie. Review that a little bit later. I also saw Captain Ron, which is a fun flick, but I don't think it's the funniest thing ever. But it is a fun. I would say Summer Rental was better in terms of a comedy, but Captain Ron is there's a good time to be had with that film. And there's other ones that I saw too that I'm just trying to remember which ones I saw. Like I know. I watched The Heat again with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. It's still a fun movie. It still holds up pretty well. I watched Backdraft again. I'm gonna review that sometime pretty soon. Still love that movie. It's such a good flick. And I watched Speed again. That's another movie that holds up really well. That's a fantastic action movie. One of my all-time favorite action films. And I watched Red Heat again, which I'm gonna review that sometime soon as well. And I actually really liked it this time around. I was kind of a little bit too hard on it in my review before, and saw it again, and I actually really did warm up to Red Heat. I thought it was actually a really underrated Schwarzenegger flick. I thought it was actually a really good flick. It was a lot of fun, good chemistry between the two leads, and yeah, it was a good movie. So I saw that, and I saw Into the Storm, which was a film that came out last year with the tornadoes and stuff like that. It was a combination of found footage and you know, regular shot footage. And I liked it. I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of critics said it was. That was an entertaining movie. So I didn't mind that. And so yeah, that's really, I think there's a few others I might, like I watched a film called Citizen X, which is based on this serial killer from Russia. This infamous serial killer killed a bunch of people. Stephen Ray's in as well as Jeffrey Dumont, who plays the killer. Andre Chikatilo, I think is the guy's name. And it was well directed, a TV movie. Don Sutherland's in it as well as, and you also have Max von Sydow. And but yeah, I just thought it was okay. I thought Jeffrey DeMunn's performance as a killer was really good, but everything else was just it was watchable. It was there. And then there's some other flicks that I saw. Just trying to remember exactly because it's Citizen X, I saw that, and yeah, it just can't. It's not coming in there, and I'm pretty sure once they get sent back, I'll know exactly which ones I saw. But yeah, so that's all I can really come up with at the top of my head. Assistant X, Enter the Storm. Watch a lot of stuff. Watch a good amount of stuff. Oh, Jacob's Ladder. I saw that again for the first time in a long time and really enjoyed it. So there'll be a review of that sometime as well. Along with I'm going to start reviewing the stuff that people sent me. So I'm going to be balancing a lot of stuff out, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting started watching some movies. But anyway, so that's pretty, I would just spent the time, the vacation over in Michigan, just watching movies and watching a lot of In Living Color and a little bit of vintage SNL, no, 19 of the first season from 1975, and watching TV like True TV and stuff like that, and throwing the football around with my dad, which I did enjoy. I thought that was really a lot of fun. And man, I wish I had it. I wish I had a camera, and I wish my dad or my stepmom had taken some photos because I'm just telling you guys, I made some pretty awesome catches. I mean, I made one catch all the way on a basically what it is pretty much almost a sideline route, and I one-handed it. And that it was pretty impressive. I caught a lot of balls at the high point. I caught them with one hand multiple times. And some I dropped, but I did a pretty good job. I got some good hands. I need to work on, work on. I need to work out so I don't feel like I am the Walking Dead the next day after throwing the football around and playing catch. But and that's definitely what I'm gonna do because that definitely was an eye opener. I'm like, shit, I need to get into shape. Fuck, I need to get in shape, man. And so. I definitely had fun, but I still had fun throwing the football around regardless. And I really love my stepmom's cooking. She is an amazing cook, and that's definitely one thing I'm gonna really miss because there's just some delicious, amazing food, man. I mean, grilled chicken breast, this pork that she made with this Korean barbecue sauce was just so tender and juicy. It was like heaven. It was like eating heaven. It was just unbelievably good. It was the best pork chop I've ever had in my life. And it barely even tastes like pork. There was nothing dry about it at all. At all. So, really enjoyed that. I visited some of my other relatives, like my Aunt Colleen and a few other people that I've never really seen in person. And so, that was nice. And we went out and drove out sometimes and went to thrift stores and pawn shops and got a lot of good deals and some good stuff. And so I definitely am gonna get into that pretty soon and show you guys what I got. But yeah, overall it was a vacation, but it was actually there was a lot of relaxing and a lot of just being lazy and a lot of just reading books. I read just sitting around reading books. I read a lot of books. I read a lot of these movie review books that I had that I brought with me, and then ones that I had in storage. And also but it was earned because the first 2 weeks I was just unboxing like everything, and figuring out what I want, what I don't want, and yeah, and I did get rid of a lot of VHS because I completely forgot how many doubles I had. And there's also it was a little bit bittersweet though, going back to check out my VHS collection that I had picked up in Oklahoma because after a couple days had gone by, once I'd gone through all the boxes in the closet, I got the really unsettling, sad realization that there's a lot missing. So that I gotta be honest, that sucked. And pretty much what I looked around other places, I couldn't find them, and it was almost my entire horror collection, which is really a bummer, but it is what it is. I'm lucky to have even just the amount that was there. And, I got a bunch of good stuff anyway over there. And I got so much over here that I've been blessed with. And, I'm lucky to be here anyway. I mean, a few years ago, I got hit by a car, flew 15 feet in the air, and then cars were going 30, 35 miles per hour. I mean, I'm lucky to be here. So, it was a bummer, but it didn't bother me as much as it would have if this was me, before the accident, or a few years ago. I've definitely matured in that regard, and I can get it back, and I can get them on the hard drive or something. It's just I did that is things that I bought from money that I earned at my job, and a lot of those are ones that I busted my ass going to thrift stores and all of flea markets all over the place, and putting them in a plastic bag, put them on my shoulder, walking to my dad's place, and walking up the stairs into the apartment. I mean, that's what's kind of the bummer about it, is that all that effort I put into them and just gone. And I guess what it is when Dad was moving out of the place, um, these other people were moving in, and I'm not blaming anyone specific, but obviously there's boxes missing, there's stuff missing. I mean, I know what I had, and I know there's stuff missing. So that was bittersweet. That honestly did suck. But that's like that was the only really kind of shitty bad thing about the vacation, really, other than not being able to use the internet consistently. But other than that, I had a good time. It was nice, but it definitely did last a lot longer than I really would have liked it to have gone on for. But it was still worth it. By the way, this is not beer. It's root beer. It's not beer, but it technically is. But I guess, but it has no alcohol. So for those of you might be wondering, because it does look like an alcohol pop. But anyway, I'm gonna get into the unboxing of a package that was sent to me by Travis, and I did open it, and I did look through some stuff. So, but I just wanted to show the stuff off, what I got. And he sent me Life Itself, Roger Ebert's memoir, which, this would actually be a pretty interesting read. This is a memoir he did before he passed away. He also sent me quite a decent amount of movies. He sent me Threesome, which I saw the trailer for. It looked like it might be a decent flick with Lara Flynn Boyle, Stephen Baldwin, and Josh Charles. It's a film directed by Andrew Fleming, who also wrote the film. Andrew Fleming is the director of The Craft and Bad Dreams. And speaking of The Craft, that's another film I need to review, because I did watch that before I left. He sent me Aliens, Alien Harvest, a Aliens book, which is nice. I didn't have this one, so I've been trying to collect these Aliens, Dark Horse, Bantam, Spectrum, tie-in book novels. He sent me it's a tie-in technically to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, because see, it's the one with Jack Nicholson on the cover, but it's not really a novelization. It's just a reprint of the novel. But that's cool. It's nice. You didn't have to send me anything. I mean, that's the thing. The gesture alone is worth a lot to me. So, I'll take whatever. I mean, that's really, really generous, and that's something that comes out of somebody's, the kindness of their heart, really. So he sent me Great Tales of Terror, which is the collection of Edgar Allan Poe stories, short stories. Sent me this clamshell of Horror Express, which I think is really cool. I really like this. This is a really cool looking clamshell. I mean, I've never really seen a clamshell that looks like this. It's from King of Video, which I've never heard of. And Horror Express is actually a film that's on the Fangoria 101 Most Unheard Horror Films list. So I do someday want to get back started on that. So I will definitely check it out then. Quality might not be as good as the DVD or Blu-ray, which I might watch the film on the DVD Blu-ray, but at least I'll have something to show. So I'll probably show this when I review the movie, which, it's nice to have something to show to the camera. Novelization of Final Countdown by Martin Caidin. I don't know if I have this or not. Like, part of me's thinking I do, but I'm not for sure because I do have so many different novelizations. It's kind of hard to keep track. A book called Nelfs, which I'm just getting. Is it just me or does that look like Drew Barrymore, like from E.T.? But I'm just gonna read the back of this and just listen to this. Heaven was only 4.5, but she knew everything about the Nelfs. She watched the Little Green Men on TV, read her Nelf books, and watched the Nelf movies her mommy rented for the VCR. Sometimes Heaven even dreamed about the adorable little creatures. She just loved the Nelfs. Then the Nelfs changed. Instead of being cute and lovable, they were ugly and mean. They hurt Heaven and made her cry. They started hurting other people too, her mommy and her best friend. Only Heaven could stop the evil little monsters, if only she knew how. So it's a horror novel. It's not based on any sort of movie. Just such a kind of funny title, but it's like over 300 pages long. So eventually, I might give this a read, but I don't. I got so many other stuff to read and other stuff to watch. But it's nice to have though. It's nice to have for the collection because. And the concept is kind of interesting. I mean, it's like, hey, it's like Saturday morning cartoons, but they're like evil. So what is it, like Gremlins? Like a little mix of Gremlins or something like that. It's definitely something I'm sort of curious about. The length is just kind of something that kind of takes me for a loop. Slipping into Darkness, which is a film that this is not on DVD, so it's a Virgin Vision release. So I'm definitely glad to add this to my collection. It's a little bit of like a vigilante sort of thing. It's like the plot sort of like Pumpkinhead, but there's no Pumpkinhead in it. Like a carriage joyride ends in the death of a young boy, and then no one admits what happened. So it's a lot like Pumpkinhead, but there's no Pumpkinhead in it. So I'll give it a look sometime. All of these I will watch and review eventually because Travis sent them to me. So that's the least I can do. He sent me Senseless with Marlon Wayans and David Spade. I've actually never seen this movie. I've seen the trailer before, but I've never seen it. He sent me a VHS of The Hidden. I have The Hidden, but I'll tell you what, I'll do another review of The Hidden because I think I had to because I had to remove the review because of some stupid copyright claim. So I think I got to, so I will review The Hidden. The Entity, I will definitely review this because this is a film I'm actually really curious about watching. And this this is just some trippy ass Alejandro Jodorowsky film, El Topo. But I'll give it a look someday. Definitely, trust me. And I'm gonna be tripping out. And then he sent me this, which I don't know if I'm gonna review this. This is like a Christian tape where it's like 39 minutes. Like I might talk about it. I might watch it once and talk about it. Watch it for a laugh, and then talk about it in a vlog or something. But it's not really a definite movie or anything. And then he sent me Malcolm X, which I don't know if I'm gonna review this. This is really, really long. But I guess if it someday, I'll eventually get around to it because he did send it to me. And it's just a really long movie, the subject material, and yeah, eventually I'll get around to it. But it is a film that it's not my idea of an entertaining movie, so to speak. Those type of films, but I'll give it a look eventually. So those are the stuff that Travis sent me, which was really nice of him to do, and there's a lot of actually pretty cool stuff in here that he sent. So yeah, so that's the stuff that Travis sent me. Now I'm getting into the stuff that I either sent myself or just got in the mail, that was waiting for me when I got back home. Just excuse me, I get sort of one more thing here. Actually, a couple things. Just excuse me, just one sec. Just it's kind of a tight squeeze. And there goes some Blu-rays. It just fell on the ground. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's get to it, shall we? I'll start with something a little bit that's not a DVD or Blu-ray, but it's something that I've been wanting to have for years. It's something that I wish I had as a kid, but never had the opportunity to because Disney didn't give a shit about this character and gave him nothing but shitty rubber bendums for, kids to play with. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Rocketeer. And this is an action figure from what is it? Was it Rem? It's not Remco. It's hold on, I got the box right here. Funko. Funko Rocketeer action figure. Legacy series. Now, originally through the advertisements, it had said things like, hey, removable jetpack and jacket, but that's not the case. You can't remove any of this. And for some reason, when you get this figure in the package, because this is not a helmet, this is not a removable helmet, and that's what it said too. Removable helmet. It's not a removable helmet at all. What it is this removable head, and what it comes with is Cliff's head. Which, excuse me for a second, I'm gonna go find Cliff's disembodied head for you, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean when it comes to this whole deal. It's kind of lame, actually. So, but I can understand it because, you know, if you put the helmet over the head, the helmet would look too big and it wouldn't look in proportion. But anyway, and he also comes with a little gun, but I didn't bother showing it because honestly, it fell on the ground somewhere, and yeah, it did. It didn't really. It did not really. I did not. Let's just say I lost it. It's on the ground somewhere. I'll find it later. But pretty much what happened was Cliff's head. See Cliff's disembodied head right here, which looks a decent amount like Billy Camel. Looks a little bit stoned and glazed over eyes, but kind of, for some reason that head was on the figure in the box. We're not buying Cliff's Accord. We're buying the Rocketeer. Okay? I know Cliff's Accord is the Rocketeer, but without his helmet, he's just Cliff's Accord. So, or Secord. This is Cliff Secord. So I could not figure out how to take his freaking head off. Eventually I did. And what happened is I pulled the whole ball joint out of his neck. And then I tried to see if I could put the helmet head on. But then I couldn't because the ball joint was inside his head right here. And so what I had to do is I had to get my stepdad, Troy, to get some pliers and pull the dang ball joint out of his head. And then pop the ball joint back into his neck. And then put the Rocketeer helmet head on there. And after, I figured, how did I figure that out? I had to go online to figure it out. So it took a little bit of research to figure it out, but in the end it worked out fine. But yeah, I really like this actually. I think it's really cool. It's decent amount of detail to it. It's not like those other Funko Rocketeers that look like, some really kind of cheapo looking kitty thing. It is the Rocketeer. I mean, you got the jetpack right here in the back. You know, this helmet I think looks pretty good, and it's got a decent amount of range of motion. Um, this is something that I absolutely do wish that I had as a kid. I would have played with this all the time. You know, woo, Rocketeer. I can't help it. The Rocketeer's coming right at you. But yeah, let's just tell me the Rocketeer's coming. Ah! But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Rocketeer, so it's really awesome to have the Rocketeer, like to actually have the action figure. It's really cool. So I do recommend this action figure to it's affordable. It's only like 20 bucks. And you might be able to find it at Toys R Us. I know it was over there. Um, it's something that, hey, any fan of the Rocketeer should have them own the Rocketeer. I mean, so yeah, I like it. I think it's a good action figure, a good Rocketeer action figure for the price you pay. I mean, it's not the ridiculously expensive, what is it, like 12-inch one or something that's like $300, but it's still I still think it's really good. And this is not a toy. This is not I mean, this is not a toy, but this is not a DVD or Blu-ray either. This is the novelization of Super Mario Brothers. This ain't no game. This is actually pretty hard to find. I only found this one time somewhere, and I ended up, this was in storage in Michigan, so I'm glad I brought this back with me. The same author, Todd Strasser, wrote the novelization for Street Fighter, the movie. A little bit of trivia there. Useless trivia, but a little bit of it. And so now I'm going to get into some Blu-rays and some DVDs, and then open some, and I actually already opened these boxes, and I'm just going to show you what's in them. And then I'm probably going to call it, quits for the video. But, yeah, so here we have Inner Space, the Blu-ray. I had to have this on Blu-ray because I love this movie. This is one of my all-time favorite films. I grew up with this movie. It's my favorite Dennis Quaid film. It's my favorite Martin Short movie. It's my favorite film directed by Joe Dante. I love Inner Space. It's an excellent film, and I'm really looking forward to watching it on Blu-ray. And I will do another review of it because I did a review that was like really long, multiple parts and stuff back in the day, but I had to remove it due to copyright. So, but I will definitely do a nice, in-depth, heartfelt retrospective review on this sometime because I really, really do love Inner Space. And so yeah, there's that. And then there is this Leviathan, the story of Hellraiser and Hellbound Hellraiser 2. This is a Kickstarted documentary by these guys from the UK who are doing one on the Fright Night films, which I'll just have to wait to buy it, just like I did with this one, where it's available for people who didn't Kickstart, who did not support the Kickstart, and it's available to, like, you pay a certain amount of money and they'll still send you a copy. Limited amount of copies, but I was able to get not one but two by accident, but didn't mean to, but I did get two, and I'm definitely, yeah. So and then the second copy is already taken. That's all I gotta say. It's already being sent out. It's gonna be sent out to somebody. But anyway, I'm a big fan of Hellraiser, so this are really good. I love behind the scenes documentaries, and this has a lot of stuff on it. It's a limited 3-disc collector's edition. It's got 3.5 hours of bonus material. Pretty much what this is, it's almost like, okay, like the Friday the 13th documentary, Crystal Lake Memories, or Never Sleep Again, or the Return of the Living Dead documentary, More Brains. This is for Hellraiser. This is for the first film and for the second movie. And then there's some special bonus features which talk about, more stuff, I guess. 8 hours of footage plus 3.5 hours of bonus material. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff on this. And I think it's pretty cool cover art, actually. And it opens up like this. We got the looks like the laminate configuration box there. You got the bonus disc. And then really high production values for something that was kickstarted. I mean, really is. Did a really good job. So I'll definitely watch this sometime. I need to get around to watching Crystal Lake Memories plus the bonus disc of that, and then Never Sleep Again. It's just, yes, there's a lot of stuff I have. But then you have on the back there's a little bit of that. But yeah, definitely pleased with this. It cost me over 30 bucks because it's from the shipping from the UK, but it's definitely worth it because there's a lot of stuff on this, and I'm a big fan of behind the scenes stuff. A big fan of Hellraiser, especially the first two. And I like the third film as well. But so yeah. And speaking of Hellraiser, I gotta show them. I gotta show them. These are I cannot believe this. This is what I found when I was just coming home, man. Coming home from Michigan. And what do I find on my bed? A box of trading cards. Where it not only had Fangoria trading cards, this is cool. It also had Sleepy Hollow trading cards, some Babylon 5 trading cards, and like Bill and Ted trading cards, which is excellent. Men in Black trading cards, Xena the Warrior Princess, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, okay. X-Files, alright. Okay. But these are the ones that really really made my day. These are Hellraiser trading cards. And these are Hellraiser trading cards from Eclipse, which these are not easy to find nowadays. And I think this is a complete set. And I got it for free. And who did I get it from? My grandmother Pat, and her daughter, a little girl. They went yard sailing, and she pointed this box out and said, "You need to get this for Mike." And so I'm definitely going to be calling them later, maybe sometime tomorrow, and just thanking them for this gift. I mean, the Hellraiser trading cards alone just made the entire freaking trading card set for me. I mean, and these are trading cards from Hellraisers 1 through 3. The only Hellraisers that fucking mean as shit anyway. I mean, so, and this is like a complete set. Like, this is like a whole set. So that is just awesome. Awesome. So I even had gifts waiting for me, when I got home. I mean, I'm that blessed that, and so I'm just going to start enjoying life and enjoying the stuff that I got. And, wait to pick up some other stuff later down the road because I got too much stuff I got enough stuff as it is. So, getting back to more stuff. So these are DVDs I got at a little thrift store in Michigan. These didn't have a case, but they were cheaper, like $1. And you have Elite Squad, which is a film that's directed by the guy who directed Jose Padilla, who directed RoboCop. It's supposed to be a shitty RoboCop remake. This is supposed to be a good movie, so I want to see if it lives up to its reputation. Extreme Measures with Hugh Grant and Gene Hackman. Excellent thriller. Already talked about it earlier, and I'll definitely review that sometime. The Shepherd, Border Patrol with Van Damme. Wanted to give that another look after seeing a good friend of mine, Matt Rambo Afterlife's review of it. Then I got a bunch of these, which I don't know if you guys have a Family Dollar anywhere where you're at. Because if you do, they do sell some DVDs there. It can be kind of cheap, decent amount of money, not cost you too much. And sometimes you can get some kind of decent titles that these don't have cases, but it's a good deal. So these are what they call like top hits, or sometimes you see them at convenience stores, and they're called like Treasure Hunt or whatever. And these are DVDs that are little $2 sleeve. They're little cardboard sleeves. From my experience, the DVDs have been in really good shape, and they're not scratched to shit, and they actually work pretty well. I even got a Blu-ray out of one of these. I got Tron on Blu-ray for like $5 at like a 7-Eleven. I just made my own case for it, and have Tron on Blu-ray. But here, this one is Casern which is a live-action adaptation of a anime, which I've actually been really curious about. Night Junkies, which is a vampire horror flick, which I like the trailer for. Last Days on Mars, which is a Magnet sci-fi movie. It was fairly recent, which I've never seen, but I like sci-fi. Vehicle 19 with Paul Walker. The Returned. Got it because it was a zombie movie. It was cheap. It's a movie called Hazmat, which I kind of like. It's a revenge flick. So we'll see. It's probably really bad, but we'll see. The Sandman, which is a special edition of it as well. I don't know what Sandman it is. The Sandman, what is it, The Last Rites or something? It was the same thing. One that I already have. I don't know for sure. That's Sleepstalker, The Last Rites. I don't know what the Sandman is. Grand Piano, a thriller that I'm actually curious about with Elijah Wood. Deaths of Ian Stone, which I really liked, which I'll review sometime soon. And Shredder, slasher flick for MGM. And I think I might have that on DVD, but I don't know for sure. But it was $2. It wasn't like I broke the bank. Got this for $3 at a Goodwill in Michigan on the last day I was there, because I was in Muskegon, killing time before I went to the airport. So this is Pink Floyd, The Wall. This is what the case looks like without the sleeve on it, and it comes with a poster, which I thought was pretty cool. Not bad for $3. Now, I like Pink Floyd, and I've never seen the film, but I've heard of it, and I've seen clips of it. It's pretty trippy, but I do like Pink Floyd, so I thought it was a pretty good deal. And I like this case too. I like the way it looks, and it's pretty cool looking. So that's Pink Floyd, The Wall. Then we have some more Blu-rays that I got. Got these from a pawn shop, some pawn shops in Michigan. Full Metal Jacket. This is the one that Blu-ray that has features on it. They're only on the Blu-ray. Any Given Sunday. Really enjoy this movie. My favorite football film. I watched this again too while I was in Michigan. Still holds up great. 2010, The Year We Make Contact. Very underrated film. I got this on Blu-ray because the DVD is really not that good in terms of picture quality. I'll get the first film sometime on Blu-ray as well. 2001: A Space Odyssey, but it's not right at the moment. 30 for 30. Sports Center, ESPN Films, documentaries, sports documentaries. A ton of hours of content. And interesting documentaries, and got this for a good deal. The guy was selling for $10. I had a bunch of stuff, and he was like, was gonna put it back, and he was like, "Hey, do you still want that?" I'm like, "Yeah, half off. You can have it for $5," which is a good deal for this. This is a really good deal for this set. 6 discs of all these sports documentaries. So I like 30 for 30 as well. I'm a sports guy, so I like those documentaries. They're entertaining. Got this from Big Lots. I Am Number 4. And it's an adaptation of another young adult film starring an actor you've never seen anything anymore, Alex Pettyfer. Timothy Olyphant's also in it. But I got it because there's this YouTuber named Cecil who does these videos called Good Bad Flicks, and every now and then he does ones like where he talks about what recommends stuff on Netflix, and he mentioned this, and I don't know if he actually did that on a Netflix thing or actually did a full review of this. I think he did a full review of this. Good Bad Flicks. And excuse me, it sounded interesting. And from what he had to say, I'm actually kind of curious about it. So that's why I picked it up. And I'll give it a look sometime. So there's that. I made sure to bring this baby back home. Twilight Zone Season 1. This is the new Twilight Zone from the 80s. I love this show. And I'm going to... Maybe if there's one thing I might purchase, it would be the Season 2 and 3. And I know they just recently re-released this, but it's the same picture quality. And yeah, they got all the seasons in one set. But that recent re-release does not have all the features. Doesn't have the audio commentaries with Wes Craven, Harlan Ellison, Philip DeGuire, Alan Brenner, James Cocker, Bradford May, and J.G. Ferguson. Doesn't have the 14-minute video interview with Wes Craven. Doesn't have the photo galleries. It doesn't have any of that. So, but I really love this show, and someday I will do a series of reviews on this show. This is my favorite version of Twilight Zone. I respect the original, but I really love this rendition, despite, you know, some chintzy looking effects. But for the most part, there's some really good stories in this. Some of them are some, you know, like any anthology, hit and miss, but some are really excellent and great. I mean, look at all the actors: Bruce Willis, Robert Klein, Agent Barbeau, Morgan Freeman, Helen Mirren, Martin Landau. I mean, I was really surprised by this show. I remember when I first checked it out from the library, and I was like really surprised by it. So, Twilight Zone season 1. Really glad to bring this back home with me. And speaking of stuff, I'm glad to bring that back home. I'm also glad to bring these back home with me. Season 1 through 5 of SNL, the original cast and crew. So that's season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, and season 5. So I'm really glad to have those back because I'm a big fan of SNL, especially the first 5 seasons. Those are classic seasons, man. Great cast. And watching it again, it's like going back in time. Watching those early 70s episodes is like going back in time to a bygone era. It's really a unique experience. And it's still pretty funny. Still some really funny, hilarious sketches. Speaking of sketch comedy, SCTV, Second City Television. I like to get more of these, actually, because these are pretty funny, too. So I got Volume 3, and I got Volume 2, but I don't have Volume 1. But there's Volume 2 and Volume 3 of SCTV. Another hilarious sketch comedy show, In Living Color, Season 1. And I got the other seasons as well, which I'll show you guys a little bit later. Get to them soon enough, but love this show. Jim Carrey, and that's where Jim Carrey broke out. Damon Wayans. So many funny characters, a lot of funny stuff. I mean, I'd love to do a video about In Living Color sometime as well, because I just think it's a great show. So anyway, that's it for that box. It was a pretty small box. So hold on a second while I get this box ready here. Scoot out a little bit so I just have the box in my lap. These are all ones that these are a combo of ones that I bought and ones that I brought back home with me. Psychotropica, a film that my good friend Damien Sage made, which eventually do want to give it a look, because I know you want to hear my thoughts on it. I just never got around to seeing it, and so we'll definitely give it a watch sometime. That's Psychotropica, and through the shipping, the case got a little bit busted, so I'm gonna put it in another, because I have some extra DVD cases that are shipping in a week and a half, so I'm gonna put it in a better case. So I don't want a DVD that my good friend Damien sent me all busted up. So I will definitely put it in a better case in the future. Fist of Legend, Jet Li film. Heard's really good. Never saw it. And I got this for 50 cents. Doesn't get better than that. 50 cents DVDs, man. Because I went to a fair on the last day in downtown, in Fremont again. And they had these like stores where they had like different, vendors and stuff like that. It's like a thrift store. Excuse me, just my allergies were fucking up. So they had these stores and stuff, and at first I was looking through this shelf and I had some good stuff, and I was like, yeah, I want that, but I don't want to pay that much. And then I looked on the side of the little shelf, and it said 50% off, or like it said like 50 cents for every DVD. It was like, 50 cents? Excuse me. Even my allergies are acting because my sinuses can't even believe it. Like 50 cents for what? DVDs? What? Even my body can't believe it. 50 cents for every DVD. I freaking made out like a bandit on that day, man. I paid $23 and I got like 3 bags of DVDs. Like I've never seen DVDs for 50 cents. Ever. So that was really cool to see that, excuse me for the massive zoom in. I just wanted to make it so you could see these a little bit better. So anyway, Fist of Legend. This is one I brought back home with me, the Prowler. It was just being disappointing, but I'm definitely willing to give it a look again sometime. Signal, 50 cents. I heard it was pretty bad, but I'm kind of curious about it. See for myself whether, what I gotta say. What's I gotta see for myself. Who knows? I might like it. What I've heard about it, my guess is probably not, but we'll see. Wes Craven's Invitation to Hell, TV movie he did. Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh. That's a pretty kind of hard to find DVD nowadays. It's Alive, the trilogy. I actually like all 3 of these movies, so I already reviewed them, and I'm glad to have that. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Really not that bad of a sequel, to be honest. Some problems, but could be worse. Touchback, which I showed you before. I just brought this back with me. The Nest, a film I'm curious about because the concept. The Transporter meets SWAT. And Die Hard. 3 gangs on the run from their own respective demons take refuge in the same massive warehouse. Everyone's armed, tense, and ready to shoot the next person they see. A cool concept. Flashpoint with Donnie Yen, which I brought back home with me. The Blob, Criterion Collection, the original 1958 film. Even has a movie poster in it. This is not easy to find either, this Blob Criterion Collection DVD. So, got this at a pawn shop a few days before I left in Oklahoma. So, that's one that I brought back. Man on the Moon, Jim Carrey, curious about this. Got this at a thrift shop in Michigan. A film called Disturbance, which I like the concept of it. And a decent review by the guy from Arrow in the Head. Sci-fi action flick. Cover art's pretty shitty, but I like the concept of it. Give it a look sometime. Hush, with Jessica Lange and Gwyneth Paltrow. I like the trailer. I saw it a long time ago. I'm actually curious about the movie. For the longest time, I always found the full screen version and got the widescreen version for 50 cents. Get better than that. Brought this back home with me. Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead. Another one I brought back that I already had in storage in Michigan. Hills Have Eyes, 2-disc special edition. The original Wes Craven film. Lantana, a movie that I am curious about. I like the trailer, but then I started watching and I was really just... After the second scene of Anthony LaPaglia fucking boning some chick and then having heart problems, I really did kind of lose a little bit of interest in it. But, I'll finish it up someday. Sometime. Friday the 13th, the series, the first season. I like to get the every seasons, but that's the only one I got so far. Excuse me. Fucking sinuses, man. Greatest Classics Films Collection. Got this at another, it's just a store that was selling a bunch of tools and a bunch of other stuff, and they had some DVDs. This was, I got it because, you got House of Wax, you got the Dark Jekyll Mr. Hyde of Spencer Tracy, you got Freaks, the Todd Browning film, you got The Haunting, Robert Wise's The Haunting. That's one of the main reasons why I got it, because I really like that film. And, for House of Wax. So that was a good buy there. Happy Birthday to Me. Got it at a pawn shop for $2. The Boneyard. Didn't like it the first time, but I brought it back because it's for for the collection and for when I decided to watch the Fangoria listing again. Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing. Brought that back with me. Soul Man, got this for pretty cheap too. This is out of print DVD from Anchor Bay. The infamous movie where C. Thomas Howell dresses in blackface to try to get into a college. The Wicker Man, the original. The Babadook, which I watched again for the second time and really enjoyed it. That was still a good one. Still a great flick. Got this for $2. Urban Legend trilogy. All of the Urban Legends movies. I mean Urban Legends, not Urban Legend, but all the Urban Legends films. Brought this back from storage. Student Bodies. Underrated 80s horror comedy that predated Scream and all these other sort of parodies. Predated Scary Movie. Toy Story 3. Haven't seen this one. I do like Toy Story. I also got the 2 discs of Toy Story for $2 from a thrift store. I'm waiting for it to get shipped back to me. So all I need now is Toy Story 2. I grew up with the first 2 films. I just never saw Toy Story 3. I haven't seen that yet. Excuse me. Demolitionist, Nicole Eggert, Richard Grieco. Brought this back home with me because I got this from, I don't remember where I got this from. I know I got this somewhere for really cheap, and it's a hard to find DVD now. Caught Up, got it for 50 cents. I'm curious about this movie. I like the trailer. Miracle, Kurt Russell, about $2 for it. Really great flick about the true story of the Miracle on Ice. Got this at a convenience store for like $6. Thor: The Dark World. Saw it in the theater, but I haven't really seen it since. I want to give it another look. Suspiria 2 disc. I think I have this. I think I have Suspiria the 2 disc. Yeah, I do. So I'll probably do something with this, but I'll probably resell it. But yeah, I brought it back with me because Suspiria. Strange Days, Catherine Bigelow film, James Cameron produced. I want to give that another look. Deaf Dream, Bob Clark film. Another film that's from the Fangoria list. His Name Was Jason, the 2 disc. It has some extra features on it. And a poster for the film. Ran, I've heard a lot of good things about this movie. And I got this for like $3 at a thrift store. So it was a good deal. Got this for $2. Really wanted to get this. Not for Space Cowboys or Honky Tonk Man. For Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can. But I'll give the other ones a look. Brought this back from storage. The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. Underrated. Movie kicks a lot of ass. I don't care what anybody says. The Majorettes. $2 slasher flick from Freak Show. Guys who helped make Night of the Living Dead helped make it. Excuse me, I was just hearing something fucking moving around. Oh, it's just something I set in the corner. Someone just settling. So I was just like, what the fuck was that? Drowning Cirque du Soleil. I saw this live, so I was glad to get this for 50 cents. Great show. My favorite Cirque du Soleil show. Wolf Cop. A lot of fun. Love this flick. Glad to have it. Got it at Walmart along with Babadook. Bram Stoker's The Mummy. Really cheap. 50 cents. Places my VHS. Movie's pretty shitty, but 50 cents. Don't Look Now. Heard a lot of good things about this. I still haven't seen it yet. I do know how it ends. Best of Best 3 and 4. The original, the actual Dimension home video release, $2. Really good deal. This particular DVD is pretty hard to find nowadays. So that's just this box. I'm not done yet. I got more boxes, folks. I got 2 more boxes. So forgive the length of this video. I mean, I got some stuff in my backpack as well, but I'll save that for last. But yeah, forgive the length of this video. It's just, I just got a lot of stuff to show you guys. A lot. Criterion Collection of the game, which you already saw. I already showed that to you before. Everly, which I did a review of. Like this film. One of my favorite films of the year so far. Showed you that before while she was out. Showed you that one when I did the review. Really liked that flick. Really underrated. Blade Runner, the 4-disc collector's edition DVD. I have the 2-disc, so I'll do something with that. But I brought back the 4-disc because it has even more features. It pretty much what it kind of it has an enhancement archive that has like an audiovisual mosaic of a other bunch of other segments chronicling the aspects of the production, talking about Sid Mead and vintage featurettes and all of that. But it also has the 3 complete archival versions of the movie, like the original theatrical cut of the film, the international theatrical cut, and then the director's cut. And so, but yeah, it's basically it's a definitive version of Blade Runner, and I like this set. It's really. I remember when I got this at FYE for like really cheap, so when it was fairly new release. E.T., the 2-disc collector's edition. It has the shitty CGI version on there, but it also has the original theatrical version and features. I know there's another newer release out there, but I'm okay with that. Grace, curious about this flick. Got it at a pawn shop for a couple bucks. Brought this back home with me. 2-disc Ultimate Edition of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. One of my favorite, sets, favorite DVDs of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a steelbook set, so it's really good. Hide and Seek, a film I've been curious about. I never knew was even on DVD. Got it for $2. Really glad I found this. I'm really looking forward to watching it on DVD instead of VHS. King of Kong Fistful of Quarters, really enjoyable documentary. I've been really late to the game when it comes to seeing it, but I agree with the critics. It was a really engrossing, entertaining movie. No Way Out with Kevin Costner, Gene Hackman, a film that was a huge hit when it came out, but nobody talks about. Firestorm, the first R-rated film I ever saw in the theater. So I'm definitely looking forward, sometime give that another look. Behind the Planet of the Apes, excellent documentary. I think I have this though as part of the Planet of the Apes box set I have, but this has a second disc that I don't think is on that set. So it has a second disc. It has 2 discs. There's 2 discs. Yeah, it's a 2-disc. This is a collector's edition. So it has more stuff that isn't even on the other set, I don't think. Speed, the 2-disc. The 4-5-star collection, excellent movie, classic, holds up great, still an amazing movie, love it, love me some Speed. The Flash, complete series. I did buy the other set, the one that's not that isn't like this, but I'm keeping this one because I just like the way it's presented more. This is the original release, so I'm definitely keeping this because I like the way this is presented a lot more than the other one. Definitely keeping that set. In Living Color, more In Living Color, season 5, the last season. Season 4. Season 3. And I got another sketch comedy show I thought was really good. Ben Stiller Show. Really enjoyed that. Glad to bring that back. It didn't last very long. Won an Emmy though, but it didn't last very long. 1 season. The Gate 2-disc with a shitty cover. I mean, not really 2-disc, but the Gate special edition with shitty cover. I mean, like the movie though, but shitty cover. Private Parts, film that was on the Fangoria 101 Western Herald Horror Films list. Feast, triple feature. All 3 Feast films with all the features. $2 at pawn shop. Dead and Buried, brought this back home with me. The Dead and Buried limited 2-disc from Blue Underground. Really like the film too, so I'm really glad to have that 2-disc back here, home, where it belongs. And got a Mark Dacascos flick, Only the Strong. Brought that back home with me. Betrayed, saw I reviewed that one already. Good one. Hancock, 2-disc. I actually like this movie. That was actually pretty good. Trick or Treat. Really love this movie. I made my own custom DVD though because, well, I found the Blu-ray rip from Germany and the picture quality is better. But the audio is pretty shitty. The audio on this is better than the audio on the one released from Germany with a better picture quality. So, Cat People, I'm honestly probably pretty okay with just having this DVD because this has a lot of features anyway. Like it had a little interview with Paul Schrader, a commentary with the director, on the set with the director, special makeup effects by Tom Berman interview, matte paintings, filmmaker Robert Wise on the producer of the original Cat People, Val Luton. So there's enough features on this anyway that I don't really need to get the stream unless somebody sends it to me, then wouldn't complain. But other than that, no need to really splurge. Ford Fairlane, love this movie. It truly is badass. I watched that again. Still holds up great. Videodrome, Criterion Collection. I'm glad to get this back because I really do like this set, mainly because this is so cool. It's a VHS tape. Long live the new flag. I think it's a beta tape. That's a beta. It's a beta tape. It's even cooler. One of my favorite Cronenberg flicks as well. Dust Devil, the limited collector's edition with the only version of the film worth watching, the director's cut. Another film that's on the Fangoria list. American Me, Edward James Olmos. Boogie Boy, another Mark Dacascos flick. Page Master on DVD. Glad to have it because I actually don't mind this film. Reviewed it already. Backdraft, the 2-disc anniversary edition. I have the HD DVD. It's nice to have the DVD because then I don't have to plug in the HD DVD player and watch this on my Blu-ray player. One of my favorite films of all time. I really, really love this movie. Cannibal the Musical, from the guys who creators of South Park. Seasons 1 and 2 of Freakazoid. Love this show. Grew up watching it. A lot of fun to revisit this someday. Another show I really enjoy. It'd be fun to revisit. Tiny Toon Adventures. See, I can still enjoy cartoons. I can still watch Freakazoid and Tiny Toon Adventures and enjoy it. I really can. Still really a lot of fun. Scanners. Original. And Stephen King's Rose Red. So, that's what I got in this box. And I got one more box. And then I got some stuff that I got in my backpack. And that'll be it. So, yeah. Thank you for sitting with me for this long. I mean, pretty long video. Over an hour so far. The Fighter. I'm actually curious about it. I like boxing movies, so, you know, Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, his Funky Bunch, I know, but I heard it's a pretty decent movie, so, based on true story. It was pretty cheap. I got it for $2. The Curve, and the double feature of The Curve with Matthew Lillard. I didn't mind the trailer, Militia with Dean Cain. And some sticker on there I can't take off. I know, it's guy from Pawn Shop. Scorpion, fighting movie. Got it at a thrift store. Aquanoids. It's a York Entertainment release. Pretty low budget flick, but I got it for really cheap. Really cheap. So, just got it for the collection. Night Train with Danny Glover. Another one I got for like $2, a couple bucks. Elvis. Never saw this one, John Carpenter film. This is, and Kurt does look like Elvis. And really the biggest Elvis fan, but I am curious about this. And it was $2. It's a Shout Factory release. It's got features and a remaster picture. It's the film where John Carpenter discovered where he first met Kurt Russell, started that relationship. So pretty important film in that regard. The War at Home with Emilio Estevez, if I can fucking say his name. I can't say Emilio Estevez for some reason right now. Emilio Estevez. And this is the film that he only did D3. He only was in a little bit role in that because Disney was going to finance The War at Home. And this is the last film he did before he went off into seclusion. And you could kind of see why, because Hollywood pretty much screwed him. He produced this film along with a few others, and he directed the movie. And even on the film's cover, he's not top billed. Kathy Bates, Martin Sheen, and Kimberly Williams are billed ahead of Emilio Estevez, who is honestly the main actor in the film, and he's the guy who directed it. They pretty much screwed him, and I could see why he just said fuck you Hollywood and just left. So I haven't seen the film. It's Warren Holmes, like it's like a soldier comes home, deals with the family drama, like Born on the 4th of July with Tom Cruise. But I did like the trailers that I saw, and I definitely will give this a look sometime because I really do like Emilio Estevez, and I've heard a lot of good things about his performance, so I definitely do want to give it a look. Evil Dead remake, yes, Evil Dead fuck. Cheap, really cheap, and I want to give it another look. And it's for the collection, it's for the Evil Dead collection. And it was really cheap. I did not pay that much. Cold Comes the Night, film with Bryan Cranston I'm curious about. Thriller. Film called Thirst, which is about these what happens when you get lost in the desert. And it's like open water, but it's like the desert version. So I'm curious about that. Kiltro, I got this for free. Free. Can't get better than that price. And it's a magnet release of some martial arts movie with some actor. Like, it's just Zorro is the next big thing in the action hero field. Yeah, nobody knows who Zorro is. Zorro, not Zorro. I mean, a lot of people know who Zorro is. Nobody knows who Zorro is. I mean, nobody knows who Zorro is, not Zorro. Mr. Jones, PG-13. You know, I think it's like a found footage horror flick. Got it for pretty cheap. Natural Born Killers, Oliver Stone collection, 50 cents. Star 80, I got this one. This is one I paid a couple bucks for, but I think it's out of print. And I'm curious about this. It's based on a true story, the murder of Dorothy Stratton. Not Dorothy Stratton. Yeah, it is Dorothy Stratton. The murder of Dorothy Stratton, the Playman of the Year. I got this because I wanted to see this again, but I didn't notice it was a full screen edition, but I'll just deal with it. Showtime with Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy. Remember that being one of the last films where I actually didn't mind Eddie in. Double feature of South Beach Academy and Rock and Roll High School Forever. I got it mainly for Rock and Roll High School Forever because I don't mind that film with Corey Feldman. Dead Silence, James Wan film. One of the first films he did. I've never, he did after Saw. I never saw this. I never did. Because I always remember this guy looking like the doll from Goosebumps. What is his name? Was it Chucky? It wasn't Chucky because it can't be Chucky because there's only one Chucky and it's not Chuckles or something. I don't remember the name of the guy, but yeah, it was a Goosebumps tale about this guy. Slappy. There it is. His name was Slappy. So yeah, looks like Slappy from Goosebumps. Hellbenders, free. Can't get better price than that. Got it because of Ray Park's in it. Johnny Bosch as well, who was in Power Rangers. Automaton Transfusion, 50 cents. Probably piece of shit, 50 cents. Lansdowne, indie comedy mystery. Supposedly a lot like a Coen Brothers film. Saw the trailer before, I didn't mind it, so that's why I decided to pick it up. They Are Among Us. Mainly got this because it's directed by Jeffrey Obrow, who I actually like a lot of the stuff he does. So he directed, he and his brother directed, Stephen Carpenter directed The Kindred, which is a film I really like, so I'm curious about that film. Kane and See No Evil, actually a pretty decent slasher. Half Cost, it was 50 cents. I mean, I can't really complain that much. 50 cents. Probably really pretty bad movie, but it's 50 cents. Critical Care with James Spader, Kyra Sedgwick, film directed by Sidney Lumet. I like James Spader. It's 50 cents. So I was like, okay. But this is a 4-disc set with Cross My Heart with Martin Short, Fierce Creatures, technically a sequel to Fish Called Wanda, Opportunity Knocks with Dana Carvey, and I'm Splitting Hairs. 50 cents. Really good deal on that. King of New York, Christopher Walken film. Brought that back home with me from storage. I remember that being, I actually liked that film. Boa Dean Kane, 50 cents. Beneath the Dark, IFC film, 50 cents. I like IFC's independent horror films. So it was kind of like a Twilight Zone movie, so it kind of got me interested. Killer Movie with the chick Kaylee Cuoco from Big Bang Theory. Snake Island, probably a pretty shitty movie, but I love this guy. I like this cover art. I think it's actually pretty cool. I do like that cover art. Truth About Demons. Disc is pretty scratched to hell, so I don't know if it's going to work, but I can bring it in. There's some guy to get resurfaced. Mainly I got it because 50 cents, and it stars Carl Urban in it. Yeah, Carl Urban before he was famous. Asylum of the Damned, horror flick, 50 cents. I mean, there's 50 cents. I mean, when you do the 50 cents thing, I mean, I bought a bunch of VHS tapes for 50 cents. I mean, I'll probably never see DVDs for 50 cents again. So I was like, I'm going to get everyone I can that somewhat looks like it might be worth it. Cyclops is probably pretty shitty, though, but, you know, 50 cents. I cannot really complain. I mean, I'm just going to say, 50 cents. 2 quarters. Boa versus Python. 50 cents. Got it because I have Boa. Chariots of Fire. 2-disc. Heard a lot of good things about this. I know the music, but I've never seen the film. 50 cents for the 2-disc. Relentless. Brought this back home with me. I have all the other films of VHS, but I don't even know if the sequels were even released on DVD or not. Liberty Stands Still film with Linda Florentino and Wesley Snipes. Brought that back home with me. Subway. Isabelle Adjani and Christopher Lambert. Christopher Lambert lightsaber. Luc Besson film. First films he directed. Night Claws. I really got it because it's got, you know, Frank Stallone, Red Brown, but I heard bad things about this from my friend where Red Brown dies, so yeah, it's probably pretty bad. 50 cents. Paperman, Jeff Daniels, Ryan Reynolds, 50 cents. I mean, I can't really complain, 50 cents. The Dark Power, Last Rue film, probably pretty bad, but you know, I didn't pay that much for it, so I can't really complain. 7 Psychopaths, paid about a couple bucks for that. The documentary, The Kid Stays in the Picture, about Robert Evans, producer of Chinatown, The Godfather. And that's it for this box. But then I have my backpack, and then I'll show you guys what's in that, and then that's it. That is it. And yeah. So, show you some more different sort of stuff before I get to the last few DVDs and Blu-rays that are in the backpack. Here are some Aliens action figures from the 90s. This is Hicks. Supposed to form a series that was originally called Operation Aliens, because it was supposed to be tie-ins to an Aliens Saturday morning animated TV series. Yes, an Aliens cartoon. But the lack of success for Alien 3, the disappointing box office for Alien 3, and the idea of, hey, let's make a show Saturday morning about aliens, pretty much made Fox decide otherwise. And they just ended up retitling all of these toys Aliens toys, when originally was Operation Aliens, and they actually there's a bunch of stuff from the actual that had the name Operation Aliens on it that actually went out to stores first. So yeah, and that's why it answers the question that I always had when I first found these. Like, these look so much like a cartoon, and they were. It was supposed to be a cartoon. That's why Ripley looks like this, and that's why Hicks looks like this. That's why they don't look like Michael Biehn and Sigourney Weaver. So, yeah, so I brought these are toys I got at a store that was actually pretty close to the place I was living at in Oklahoma, and I didn't know about until the day, like a day before I left, and I got these and some movies over there. This is the main villain from G.I. Joe Extreme, like General Skull, I think. And here's a foot soldier from the movie. It's a foot soldier from the 1990 film, or Turtles 2. It's like a 1990 film because he's got an axe. This is my favorite look of the foot soldiers, to be honest, is the movie look. And then this is movie Raphael. And this is there's been different versions of movie Raphael. I had one before that I liked a lot more as a kid, but you know, I ended up losing it. Actually, what happened was given away because my mom decided, you know, when I did something bad or whatever, she decided instead of taking toys away, she decided to take them to Goodwill. So yeah, so. But I still like him because it's still movie Raphael. Movie Raph. So movie Raph and movie foot soldier. You know, foot soldier. So brought those back with me from storage. And I have some other toys too that I couldn't find, like my Shadow action figure from the Shadow movie. So with the quick draw Shadow that I used to have as a kid, and got him back and then lost him again. You know, it is what it is. So here are some more DVDs. 2-disc. Savage Streets. Brought this back with me from storage. I'm so glad to have this back. This is the 2-disc from Demos Entertainment, a company that doesn't even exist anymore. So yeah, I'm really glad to have this one back because this is a good set. It was a good looking DVD. Good picture quality. Yeah, I'm glad to have it back because I love this movie. It's a really good flick. It's another film that's introduced to me by Damien Sage. Street Hawk, the complete series from Shout Factory. Really enjoy this show. Underrated show. So I'm glad to have it on DVD. Down, 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 down. Dun 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 down 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 down. That's the Street Hawk theme. Spider-Man, the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Really glad to have this. Get this on an official release already, please. Then Freddy's Nightmares, the series that I got at a pawn shop. Now, all the discs work for the most part on this set, this bootleg set, other than one disc where there's just problems with it, where like a whole bunch of episodes don't work. But I do have the whole series on my hard drive, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn a different disc, and I'm going to have the whole set again. And someday I probably will talk about this because I like Nightmare on Elm Street, and I like horror anthology TV shows, so. Freddy's Nightmares has also not been released officially. So that's Freddy's Nightmares. That's a lot of cool sets there. And I got one more Blu-ray. 22 Jump Street. $5. Good deal. Really enjoyed this film. Really glad to have it. I like and this one has features. Yeah, the Blu-ray has tons of features that are not on the DVD. So if you're a fan of this film, definitely get the Blu-ray. So I have that. And then I have a lot of this stuff over here. I almost forgot about these. And these are the ones that I got on the day to leave. Yeah, the day I was the last day in Michigan. These are the stuff that I got. And yeah. A couple VHS. I got this at Goodwill. Great find. The making of A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Yes, I know. Tracking is probably pretty shitty. But it's for the collection, and this is not easy to find. And to get it for $1, that was a great deal. So got that for $1, as well as this Anchor Bay release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Now, I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 on Laserdisc, and I have it on Blu-ray. But I got this mainly because I like these sets. I like Anchor Bay's VHSs because of this. I like this. I think it's pretty cool and unique for a VHS to have a cover open up like that. So I'd proudly add that to my core VHS collection for just a couple bucks. So now we have the DVDs. I went to a place called Family Video. and they had this deal where it's two movies for $3. So I got a bunch of movies. I paid only $15 for them. You're Next, which I know I didn't like when I reviewed it, but I want to give it another look, mainly because I kind of know what to expect, and I might be able to enjoy it as a time waster because of Sharni Vincent, who kicks a ton of ass. I thought she was actually pretty badass in that movie, and I do want to give it another look just because to see, if I can at least enjoy it just for her. Antiviral, film directed by David Cronenberg's son that I'm curious about. Film called Sick, Survive the Night. Some decent reviews. Look like it's had some practical effects. Varsity Blood, a slasher from last year, which I like the cover art, and in every copy I see from this anywhere else is definitely a lot more than what I paid for it. Bullet in the Face, which is a short-lived show made by the creators of Sledgehammer, an 80s show with David Rash, which I really, really enjoy. It's total like a satire parody of 80s action movies. If you're a fan of 80s action movies, you gotta track down Sledgehammer the series and watch some episodes. I think you'll really have a good time. Bullet in the Face was a short-lived series that he tried to do with different sort of satire of other, little grittier version of it. So I'll definitely give that a look sometime because I do like Sledgehammer. Java Heat with Kellen Lutz and Mickey Rourke, mainly because I am kind of curious about this. Mainly because I like Mickey Rourke and has some decent reviews. Under Oath, a film with Jack Scalia and James Russo. New Horizons drama. Last Lovecraft, Relic of Cthulhu. Saw the trailer. I liked what I saw, so I'm actually looking forward to giving this a look sometime. Dry Bones, a film from the guys who did Slime City and Slime City Massacre. And then I got it because I like the concept. It's about a guy who goes, as a kid, he was terrorized by a monster under his bed, and then as the years go by, he moved out, and a psychiatrist convinced him it was just all in his mind, and he goes back home, and then he finds out it's not the case. And it's also supposed to be a little bit of a homage to 80s horror, so it's the reason why I got it. Comforting Skin, the last one I got. It's about a woman who gets a tattoo that starts to come to life and drives her crazy. So, good concepts, interesting sort of ideas. Now, there's no guarantee. I mean, some of these films might more than likely probably be bad and end up being rants, but I didn't pay that much for them, and I was pretty curious about them. And then these are the last DVDs, and it's actually pretty fitting. This is another show I love. I've always loved. It's a huge favorite of mine. I always really loved this show, and that is Batman Beyond. Now this season 1 has like a broken box, so the second disc has kind of been moving around a little bit. So I don't know what that might be doing to the disc. Like I hope it still works, but it's just the disc it's not staying in there because the plastic thing was broken or whatever. It's supposed to keep it in there. But anyway, season 1 of Batman Beyond, another show I grew up with. Season 2, discs are all fine in this one. And season 3. So, sometime I will definitely give these a look as well as the Batman the Animated Series. So I really wanted to make sure I brought back home with me all 3 seasons of Batman Beyond because I am a huge fan of Batman Beyond. I mean, I even have a Batman Beyond hat. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of Batman Beyond. I love me some Batman Beyond. I'm a huge fan of that show. And then, this hat's one of those, like, it just looks really big on me. But I got it because I'm a huge fan of Batman Beyond. So anyway, so that's the DVDs and the Blu-rays. And I got one more thing to show you, and it's a book. And it's a cool one. It's a good way to end this vlog / unboxing and packaging update video. Shock Horror. The astounding artwork from the Video Nasty era. This is a really hard to find book now. This is out of print. Extremely expensive on Amazon or eBay. And I brought it back home with me. Because what it is, yeah, it's VHS cover art of the Video Nasty films. that were from the from that were the British, nasties. So I definitely wanted to bring this back home with me. And it's not only just cover art. There are some moments where it does start talking about some other stuff. Like it actually talks about in detail about why it was banned and whatever. But mostly it is cover art. It's mostly just VHS cover art. So before, this is the only VHS cover art you could really, book you could really see before that most recent one. So yeah. So yeah, really glad to get this back. It's extremely rare and hard to find now. But it's a book that I got for a decent price when I originally got it on eBay a long time ago. It was like $30 or something. This and my Nightmare USA book are some of the rarest books I have. So, yeah, it's too bad. Some of these really awesome horror books are just extremely rare nowadays. Shock Horror, Nightmare USA, and there's one on Lucio Fulci, which I would love to get, but it's like extremely expensive. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it for this really long feature-length vlog slash update slash unboxing video. Want to once again thank Travis for sending me the package. I want to thank you guys for sitting down and watching this, and stay tuned for more reviews, and I will see you guys later. See ya.